What does anyone ever call me? What's up, guys? Man. Well, anyway, I was watching a little thing with Asmongold. I really enjoy him because he reminds you of me. Just way more popular than I am. But he speaks the honest truth. He says the internet itself is made from the people that are on it. People want to govern the internet with their bullshit stuff and that. Like, you get a bunch of crazy-ass woke liberal people that cry, bitch, and moan and say, their fifis get hurt, because Xbox 360 Live was the funnest time ever when there wasn't much rules. Everyone just joined their own personal communities and that. You can have, occasionally you'll have a twat waffle that'll come in and bitch and moan because they just want to complain because they just want attention. And yes, it does fucking happen. It happens outrageously a lot. There's a lot of people out there that literally would just bitch and moan just to get attention. It's like you get all of these fucking woke retards that literally tell people to start killing people. What the fuck? Are you serious? Like, because they want attention. Yeah, you know what that is? Talk about emotional manipulation. These are mostly white crazy women. They're all woke-tard women. Emotional manipulation is the number one thing that I would have to say that a lot of women know how to use, but most of them don't use it that much. But the ones that do use it, they're all the Karens, all the woke-tards with big-ass piercings in their nose and that. They're like, I hate society because, society doesn't give me all the things that I want. Well, you gotta work for it. See, the thing is, you need to learn what to be a woman actually is to be a fucking woman. Be cute. Be adorable. Be respectful towards people in general. And don't bash fucking men because they have cock and balls that you like to suck and fuck. That's all. That's literally what it is. And so this concept keeps coming out. And people keep on looking at these, the ratios of why all these people are saying. It's very small. Very, very small. Maybe a couple thousand of people are actually, really fucking bitching and moaning about this. Most, it's just like when you go on channel, like, any type of fucking liberal news, what do they always say? They say the same thing. Majority of Americans. No. If you talk to 1,000 Americans, ask them a question, and these Americans are legion to you, they're all going to tell you the same thing. That you're right. 1,000. That's not a lot of people. You say you take 2% of the population, and you say all Americans think that 2%. Well, that 98% of majority of Americans that work and all that stuff like that, they don't think that way. They're gonna look at you like, I don't give a fuck about politics. I just want to feed myself and feed my kids. I just want to survive the next day. That's what people care about. Of course, you get these overly privileged people. They're always on the internet. Honestly, I think some people, if you got all this bad shit to say, you shouldn't be part of the mainstream internet. Tell you the honest truth. If all these people went on, say, the Blue Sky, and they all were jacking each other off on Blue Sky and that, because Blue Sky is the most liberal fucking network ever, and a lot of people go on there and make fun of these people and that, and they go into echo chamber scream and shit and get all pissed off and that. And that's what's happening. Like, social media slowly, like, with that mindset, that echo chamber is getting smaller and smaller. If you don't like conservative-based humor, or just humor altogether, and you're emotionally enticed to think that you fucking matter to what other people say, and you hear this stuff, it's because you have emotions. I talked to this one lady that. I talked to a lot of women about this. It's because you have emotions. Doesn't mean you have to fucking tell everybody about your damn emotions. If something triggers you and you're not part of it, maybe you shouldn't say nothing at all for your own personal health. See, you want to say, why do people stress out? If you ask a simple question to anybody, it's like, why do you stress out? You know what they say? Well, because, other people, exactly, because of other people saying stuff that it's none of your fucking business what they say. That's the most common thing that I keep on hearing. You want to be the police of the conversation. You want to assume that you know the moral code better than someone else, especially if someone else is older than you. No, it ain't about knowing the moral code better. It's just, no one gives a fuck about your opinion because your opinion's fucking stupid. Oh, that fart felt so amazing. It's like there was just this woke Karen bitch. Big ass glasses, big ass septum piercing, 1,000-yard stare. Probably gets fucked by a whole bunch of dudes. 1,000-yard stare. She goes on the internet with her little crowd of people. Which, you know, my crowd's not big, but I digress. I'm not a fucking moron like that. I don't say stupid shit like that. Like this. Demanding attention. Literally, demanding attention, or she was going to off herself. Should you be on the fucking internet looking for emotional manipulation scenarios by saying, my life's so bad I might destroy myself? You don't care what people say because you're not going to do it because you're a fucking pussy. You're a coward. You just speak fucking language, so you get a whole bunch of dumb fucks on there saying, okay, well, you know what I say to that woman? If you can actually act on what you're talking, then why the fuck are you talking then? Do you think a lot of people talk about fucking ending themselves before they end themselves? I think a lot of people end themselves before they even say anything. That just proves a point, because most people that end themselves, they don't say nothing. That's why they have what you call a suicide fucking note. They don't want anyone to know until after they're gone. So when you get these dumb fucks online doing this for attention, prove it. Well, that's just being ignorant towards me. So when you start saying these stupid things, then prove it. If you want to talk because you want attention, and it's sad. It's so sad. It's so dangerously sad that these fucking retards are on the internet spewing such negative comments about themselves because they hate a group of people, because things they believe are not going their way, because their life sucks. Personally, if your life sucks, you got bad guidance. Stop worshiping celebrities and start worshiping God. Jesus always wins. Celebrities always lose. The world doesn't give a fuck about you, but Jesus at least knows you. He knows your problems. Go to him. Stop sitting there wasting your time doing all this bullshit. Yes, you're going to get hurt. You're going to go through a bunch of bullshit in life and that. But don't sit there and go on the fucking internet and say that you want to end yourself just for fucking clout. Because you want to be popular. Yeah, you know what quick popularity does? It's quick popularity. You're only going to get so many views. You're only going to get so many people that are going to sit there and watch you for a little bit. But then, after the days go by and that, and you slowly get off of your fucking dopamine high, which you probably do a shit ton of drugs to get that anyway, but you want more, yeah, you're going to become less and less believable. People are going to look at you and be like, weren't you just saying that you want to end yourself in that, like, a week ago? Well, yeah, but, it's like, yeah, people are going to start seeing you as a fucking liar. They're going to be like, okay, well, why did I even give you attention? And you're just literally just talking. To understand emotions, to understand people. When you understand people, you understand emotions too, guess what happens? You can see through it. I talk about something I work at. So one of the ladies I work at, I used to work with her. She was fucking just turned 18, basically. She was a good worker in that. Strong, she was good, she looked healthy in that, she was in good shape in that. Her conscience was there in that, like she worked really well in that. She seemed very logically smart because she had conversations with me, which is, really difficult to have with because of who I am in that. And I extreme that she had a decent IQ, that she was actually rather intelligent. Well, she ended up quitting the job because she was a family food stamp licker, and she was black in that, but I couldn't even tell that she wasn't ghetto black. She was actually just, had normal nature to her for being a black person. And there's a fine line of difference between the two. And so she ended up leaving. I'm like, why'd you leave? You were doing so well. You're doing so good. I said, well, it's because probably how she was raised is to use the government and use stuff for money now. And these young Gen Z black women and men are trying to break out of it and their parents and their grandparents that are into these type of things, they're the reparation babies. They believe in reparations. They believe being taken care of. But when you want to get out into society and you want to work, you want to make money in that, you have to do stuff for yourself. I said, what brings back slavery more than to sit there and live off of fucking people and that again? What brings you back more to the plantation and live off of taxpayer money that majority white people fucking pay? What brings you back to that shit? I never understood that. So it's like, you think reparations, slavery is reparations. Okay, but you have food stamps and you're on all this crap and that you're getting your reparations already. But does it really mean that you're on reparations? No, it means you're trying to enslave yourself again under the fucking white people that pay their taxes. That's the literally concept of what's going on with the whole community that does that shit. And guess who falls in line with it? Other people. Lazy people. Trashy people. Stupid people. Ignorant people. They fall in line with, I don't want to support myself all the way, so I want to take money from this. These things are emergency funds for people that lose their fucking jobs. These aren't people that just sit there. People that have jobs can sit there and take fucking money out for food stamps and shit. And they talk about it. I listen to them talk about it. They're not bad people. And I say, why do you need food stamps? You got a full-time job. Well, I mean, if you pay into your taxes, okay, if you can get you get like $100 a fucking month? $100 a month ain't worth fucking shit. I'm doing all that work on that. $100? And most people intentionally work at fast foods or convenience stores and that where they have food there for them. They give them discounts and shit. What I'm trying to say is, like, if you work at a job, and I work at fast food. I love fast food. I work at fast food the bulk of my life. I love customer service jobs. I always work at food places because it makes it easier for me to save money if I can just eat at the place. Essentially, I do. Maybe not all the time. Maybe only once a day. It depends. Sometimes I try to separate my meals at least twice in an 8-hour period. And guess what? It does save me money. It'll save me. I can eat 2 meals. It'll save me money in that. So when I go home and that, I don't have to sit there and eat food at home. But when I see people and how much they eat and that, and like they just eat because they're bored, I say, yeah, it's because you got what you call the gluttony sin. When you look at how the sin and emotions work, they kind of work hand in hand. The more sins that you got attached to you, especially because it is all emotional. A lot of people want to say, no. If you say it's not, because you're stupid. If you say, well, I'm always hungry, you're not always hungry when you're fucking massively overweight. Your hunger is a fleshy thing. Because your stomach growls, it doesn't mean you have to eat. When you look like a fucking big-ass potato, your stomach growls because you have been eating like shit for the bulk of your life, and your stomach's used to it. You train your flush. That's why people would understand that if they knew about what the Word of God actually does talk about gluttony. That's why people fast. Why do we fast? We train our bodies to understand that they don't rule over us, we rule over them. That's the problem. People want to think that, the bulk of your body is on automatic mode. Your hunger, your heart, everything, your blood pumping at night, you don't have to think about it. It just happens. We're pre-described to have these things on auto function. And the main thing our body intensively wants to do is survive. So, if we think we have to fucking eat, think you have to eat, it's because your stomach growls. If you understand why your stomach growls, because your stomach's empty. But once your stomach gets empty for a while, it stops hurting. Once that pain resides, the stomach actually gets smaller, it shrinks, because the body the body itself's noticing, okay, now we're going fasting mode, wants to survive, so it collectively gets smaller because it doesn't need to be that fucking big. That's why we see people with big, huge fucking guts. Their guts are really big. Yeah, because you eat enormous amount of food. I mean, you can eat a lot of food. Yeah. It's funny people eat a lot of food. But the thing of it is, do you need to eat that much food? I mean, you get sleepy because of, because you eat so much food that you want to fall asleep. Well, that's not productive. Like, I see people at work and that. There's one guy at work and that. And I always talk about the younger generation of people because the Gen Z generation is the weakest, stupid generation to ever exist. And it's not to say that they can't learn. They're just, the schools have made them fucking retarded. And I'm not saying all of them are like that, but majority of them are. No, I'm saying that because I see that they have no traditional values. I look at them, and most of them have single mothers. These are millennials' fault. Millennials are the ones that done this shit. Let's say the book of millennials. And some Gen Xers. They lose the quality of traditional values, and the generation starts going down, 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 down. Doesn't mean they can't rise themselves back up by learning. They can. But the problem of it is, they start the decline when they're young, fresh out of high school, and they're fucking all stupid as fuck. You ask about academics and that, and like, did you actually learn anything in high school? Well, I haven't learned shit in high school. I'm like, I understand that, but have you learned anything on your own that wasn't forced upon you? It's like, and they're always, when I ask why, I said, that's the problem right there. Gen Z has the technology to learn all the stuff they want to learn from actual intelligent people. Wouldn't you want to learn finances? Wouldn't you want to learn how to live a healthier life? That's what I do. I'm always looking up shit as much as I can. Like, I listen to my financial advisor and that about stuff and that, because there's a lot of things I don't know. And he talked about all the stuff and that. And he was taught the economy always goes up and down. When people say, oh, the economy's crashing, it's freaking out, the economy always goes up and down. There's periods that the economy has to go down for it to go back up. It's just how it is. That's why stocks are always up and down. But for some reason, people are still always making money. Yeah, you constantly make money off that shit. The normal people that don't know these things, which is majority of people, they're always broke. It's like you're walking around not knowing anything about life besides what you learn in high school, especially nowadays. High school teaches you very little about life. These people get more programmed by social media, more programmed by the news, or more programmed by, basically social media and that, the things they watch on social media and that, and then they always want to do it. And you look at their lives, and you're just like, are you sure you want to be like that? It's cool and hip. Yeah, cool means rebel. Like, being cool means go against traditional things that most people do. And they always call traditional people weak. And I'm always looking at, well, I'm not in the background talking a bunch of shit about people when I can't say that to their face, because no, what you're saying is complete bullshit and you're just lying. Is that the kind of life that you live? Oh, yeah, I think a lot of people live that life. I see it. There's always one person that comes in mind, and I research this person. They act the same, and people around us are just like, what's wrong with her? I'm like, well, it's just psychological issues. She believes that she's the center of attention, but when that center of attention breaks, because she, truly believes that, because she goes online and she gets a bunch of dudes. This is how the effect works. There's a documentary about dopamine rushes and that people are allergic, but they're addicted to this stuff. And they go on there and they take a bunch of pictures with that AI thing and that. It makes them look all pretty and that, but in real life, they don't look that good. They look average as fuck. But on the thing that it clears up your skin and that makes you look beautiful. And when you see them in person, like, duh. You're like, what the fuck? It's like, you're not that attractive looking. Oh my god, what are you making fun of me for? Yeah, because you're actually fucking ugly, bitch. You're not remotely healthy looking like you said you are on social media. People use filters all the time with cameras. Cameras have auto filters on them. Literally, when I pop up my camera net, it makes me look fucking better. It makes my skin tone, and like, it makes my skin tone look brighter than that. It doesn't show all the features, every single thing that I have. It doesn't. It's a fakery. That's what cameras do. They don't. They make you stand out a little bit more. Doesn't mean that my face structure's not like that. Of course my face structure's like that, but the lights of it make me look better in general. The way my skin tone looks and stuff like that. But when you get all these phones and that, they got all these pixelated camera functions and shit, you can really change the way that you fucking look. And some people believe it. And the documentary, talk about, it's called sexting. Where women will go on there, they'll take a bunch of pictures of themselves not looking good, and they'll throw it all over the internet for attention. And then when people come, man, you're really hot, and then they go, oh my god, he thinks I'm so hot. And like, oh, I want to see you in person. I go, no. I think, oh no, you're just, you can just look at me through the phone and that, because truthfully, they know they don't look that good. They're all like, ooh. Yeah, trust me. You start seeing that type of stuff, and you're like, what the f? So, you okay? I'm fine, yeah. But on their camera, they're all like, I'm so pretty. And then off their camera, they're like, they look like trolls and shit. Got massive acne issues and that because they can't fucking eat right. They eat like shit. They can't detox right because they constantly stress out. And when you stress out more, your pimples get bigger. And you're trying to figure out, why do I have to stress out so much? And then if someone comes in and tells you that, well, maybe you should stop caring what people think and just do what you think is best for yourself. When you stop caring about other people and you care about yourself, you start to heal. I always say, people that want to love other people but don't love themselves, you technically don't love them. You're just itching for attention. You're itching for that love bug. And when you get it, you don't know what to do with it because you fucking hate yourself. Like, why am I doing that? Trust me, my ex was just like that. There's multiple times in that, I asked her, you should just forgive yourself for your past. You fucked up in that, just forgive it. Just leave it alone. Just let it go. She's like, why? Why? What, you fucking retarded? I said, you can't go back. You have wishful thinking of time travel now. Well, unfortunately, time travel doesn't exist. You can't go back in your past and change any factual things at all. Your past is stuck. All you can do from it is learn from it. If you can't learn from your past, then you're just going to try to live that over and over again. And the older you get, the worse it becomes, because then you have to think, oh my god, I lost 10 years of my life because I'm worried about the last 10 years of my life. I'm worried about my 20s, but now I'm in my fucking 40s, and I'm worried about my 30s, and now I'm in my 50s. The cycle keeps on continuing. It's called a psychological break, where you literally rely on your past for your present and for your future. You tell your past to fuck off, because your past doesn't matter. That's why you live onwards. See, and that comes down to pride and control. I love these people that want to act like they're God, but you have no control over your time at all because it keeps going forward. This is where the self-worshipping and selfishness comes in. Because people truly believe they have the power. I said, well, you fucking retarded? You don't have any power at all over anything. You're so unimportant in the world. You think the world gives a fuck about anybody? No, that's why these class celebrities always get praised, and the people that work normal jobs never get praised. Well, I wonder why. Because they never cared. The world doesn't care about ants because they're the ones looking down at ants. And that's how these people think. You want to say they don't because they go on social media and they say they do good things to help out the broke fucking Americans and that. Yeah, they do that because they get a tax write-off at the end of the year because it's tax season. Of course they're going to do it because it makes them look good. They're not good people. None of these motherfuckers care about us. They know that. They know they're like, well, you're stupid. You're going to buy my shit anyway because you're fucking dumb. That's literally how these corporate fucking monsters are. So the next time you go and try to buy some stupid ass fucking shit, really think to yourself, do you really need it? Because these motherfuckers are all rich because of your stupid ass. Because the culture bends towards the people that have power. And if enough people have power and they can advertise it and constantly throw shit in your fucking head, get new nails, get more makeup, get this, get that, makes you more pretty, but you're still fucking ugly, yeah, that's because you're fat. Or that's because you got unlucky and your tits aren't big enough, your ass ain't big enough. Well, that's the point. You see all these other social media fucking people that the guys are always ripped with six-pack. You figure out they're all on steroids. And they do a lot of fucking roids. You might see an average person every now and again that has good genetics that might be stout. Might have, a skinny waist with decent-sized arms. Yeah, I go to the gym every once in a while. I see some guys that have that perfection, unique look in that. I mean, like, I'm getting thicker and shit like that. But I have to tell people, they're gonna be, if they're not up front with you and you look at their bodies and they got too much muscle in them, that, more or less likely, because they went through the diet thing and they found the picture perfect thing to keep their body going. Don't eat when you don't need to. That's the base of it. And all of them are on fucking roids. They're all on steroids of some sort. Or they're on peptides, like I'm on peptides and that. And it's doing the world of change with my muscularity system. The world of change. I feel bigger. I feel stronger because my body's recovering. And you listen to these guys, they tell you the fucking truth. They've been through the cycle. Because this one guy I talked to, I know I'm going around in circles, but he's been working out for the longest time. He's like in his 50s. Dude's fucking ripped, like 7% body fat. He looks, really good in that. He takes care of himself. And then he was talking to me about my skin disorder. He says, you need to just start taking a teaspoon of olive oil every day. He's like, that'll get rid of that skin disorder. So I started trying to eat more olive oil in that. And he was just telling me all this stuff now. He says, he's like, I never go to a doctor and go to a doctor and tell me about my own personal health. I said, doctors are only good for existing, it's for surgeries and for things that you can't handle on your own. When people go to doctors that because they're fat, you're fat because you're fat. Okay, it's very simple. You eat too much, you work out, you don't move around enough, so your body retains fat. It's a survival instinct that your body has. So if you eat less and stay more productive, you're going to lose weight no matter what. It's that mindset. It's all emotional. People want the easy way out in that because it makes it easier. I agree. Some things do matter in that. I like experimenting with stuff in that. I went on a bulk phase in that. Now I'm trying to trim down in that. No, I focus on not eating that. The peptides do help me recover, but they don't help me lose weight. If that makes any sense. I still have to focus on not eating so much. Try to keep myself more active. But if I am healing faster to a certain extent, most likely I will use up a little bit more nutrition value to be able to heal. Because there's some days at work and that, after I do truck and that, I get extremely fucking hungry. Like, just give me everything I can eat. So I get a bunch of carbs, a bunch of protein that, and I just fucking smash it all. If I could swallow it all at once, I fucking would. Because I'm so actually physically hungry. Not that my stomach's growling, my stomach's empty. Like, my body's just like, okay, bro, you gotta eat because you wasted too much energy. And like people for my job and that, they don't completely understand. I'm like, dude, I move quick as fuck because I have to get this shit done. I'm running around with 50 pounds, 60 pounds soda fucking syrups on my shoulder and that, like literally like a quick walk, and putting everything up and then moving shit around that. I said, you don't know how heavy something is until you've done it probably 1,000 times. And if you just don't know how heavy it is, because, that's the problem. So go back to the workout guy and that. We had good conversations about this stuff and that. And he's like, so when I talk to people about lifting weights and all that stuff and that, they never lift weights their whole entire damn life. And I look at them and that's like, you don't have to lift ridiculously fucking hard to build muscle. You really don't. You can work out 3 times a week and just hit your whole body. And that, after a month or so, and that if you eat protein and enough food and that, you're going to build muscle. You're going to get slightly leaner. You're going to slowly grow into being stronger. And sometimes it's not even about being leaner. Sometimes strength is the most profitable thing. Because having strength is a good thing. I believe a lot of people would rather be stronger than just be super fucking lean. You know, like, yeah, my ideal physique is to have a six-pack and all that shit, and I do want to drop my stomach fat down really, really fucking low. I've been wanting to do that my whole entire life. But for some reason, I just couldn't get to that point. And when I started looking at people that had that stuff, they weren't that big of guys. They were just really fucking lean, but they weren't that big. They didn't have a lot of mass on them. Like, their muscles weren't that big. They were really fucking lean. And of course, you know, when you're younger than that, you know, building muscle does take time. You can get skinnier faster than you can build muscle. That's truth. You could drop weight every fucking damn day. You can't build muscle every day. And if you do build muscle every day, it's like a very, very, such a tiny amount. Talk about that. I do need to go to the fucking damn gym. I haven't been to the gym in a long ass time. It's 3 o'clock. I'll be at work at 7. Let's see. Temperatures. It says it's fucking 30 degrees outside. Let's see how it feels. It says it feels like 55. Nope, Shani. It feels like 55. So it's going to be 33 tonight. That's not too bad, actually. Kind of go up to that fucking steak place and eat me some damn steak, because I got to take a big ass fucking piss. I'll be back. Next time I get off, I'm all going to go.